Hey there, Facebook. It is Vanessa here again. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice again. Always happens to me at these events. Just wanting to deliver to you guys today really what's been going on over the last day. So I'm super exhausted and tired because we didn't finish at the event last night at the DiMartini breakthrough experience until everybody in the room had practically broken through, except for just like a small handful of people who were having some major challenges, which is why I want to talk to you about them today. But ultimately, I didn't get to bed till like 2 a.m. and we're up pretty early because we had a bunch of homework and exercises to go through all around, who do we want to be, what do we want to do, and what do we want to have in all 7 areas of life. And so I've been up early and doing some work around that. And anyway, enough about that. I want to talk about yesterday and how challenging it was in the room. And I had two major breakthroughs, which, wow. The title of today's message is really all about how we can only help another to the degree to which they're able to help themselves or committed to helping themselves. And I had that example playing out in my life pretty much all day yesterday. So I was sitting next to an individual who, I don't know how we ended up next to each other, but he was really struggling, and he had a story that all of us can think, wow, like I couldn't even imagine what life would be like going through that. So to give you a quick overview, he's about 4 years ago, his son actually passed away and died of a heroin overdose, and he's living in a lot of grief, and he's definitely tackling it from all angles. So he's really going to war with it, and he's got psychologists, he's got a coach, he's got all these different people who he's trying to work out things with. And he got to the breakthrough experience to test out, maybe this could be the thing that, gets me moving, gets me past this grief. But he was completely resisting any help. So it's a room facilitated. There was probably about 30 facilitators to about 70 or 80 people in the room. And anyway, he was having fights and disagreements and all these arguments with all the different facilitators who were just trying to help, DiMartini included. It was really refreshing for me yesterday, having gone to that 3-day event, Master Planning for Life, and seeing the kindness, the generosity, and all of those things that DiMartini showed the group. And this particular, the breakthrough experience, he showed us his other side, and he for the purposes of showing us, like a huge part of DiMartini's work is to show all of us that we are all things, and it's our lopsided perceptions, either seeing all positive or all negative in anybody and including ourselves, that keeps us stuck in suffering. And when we can't see the other side, when we can't bring things into balance, we struggle, we're in pain. And so anyway, this guy was just totally struggling and really throwing everybody off. And I'm actually going in a bit early today because I'm going to help him have a breakthrough. I'm going to be his surrogate son. So without going into too much detail, my couple of breakthroughs yesterday, we go through the DiMartini method, which is ultimately finding somebody in your life that you hold any sort of resentment toward, and it's doing the work on them. So you go through, I think there's 14 different questions. And anyway, without going into it, because it's an all-day process, finding all these examples of the traits that you've identified within another person of what you infatuate about, inclusive of what you really resent about them. And you find hundreds of examples in your own life as to how you have those same exact traits, the ones that you put up on a pedestal and also the ones that you put in a pit, so that you can fully own them within yourself, so that it equalizes your perception around what, and you no longer have these emotional charges that keep us stuck in our lives, and particularly with these people. And then what we do once we've finished this huge process is we ultimately find somebody in the room who reminds us of that person that we want to do the work with, and we ultimately use them as a surrogate, and we get to this point of breakthrough where we've gotten ourselves to a place of total understanding, where we've owned those parts that we judge or that we judge in another within ourselves, and we get to a place of transcendence, which is ultimately having love, gratitude. So you can get to a place where you just say, thank you, I love you, to whoever that person is. And people go through rape, people go through deaths, people go through some pretty horrific stuff. So mine didn't feel all that large at the time, and I thought, who am I going to do this on? I don't really feel like there's somebody in my life, but there's always somebody in your life. And I ended up doing it on my granny, actually, who I would like a better, closer connection with. And my judgment and resentment had been that I felt like she was closed-minded around the work that I do. And my work is my life, as you guys should know by now. So I didn't feel like I could talk about, the depths of what I'm really fascinated and interested in with her. And it felt like it stifled our connection, and I was resentful to that because she's my granny and I want to have a great relationship with her. And so that's the person that I found I was sitting right next to, this person who I perceived initially as being closed-minded and not trusting in the process and being willing to go through it. So I was sitting right next to him, and he definitely helped me going through that process. But also another guy in the room selected me as his surrogate, and he was doing the work on an ex-girlfriend. And so I went and just sat with him. You go through this whole process, and he gets to talk to me as if I'm the ex-girlfriend, and get to this place of love and gratitude. And I had a breakthrough with that one as well, because everything that he was saying to me was the same thing. It was like I was talking to it was like my ex-boyfriend was talking to me, and so I was working through this stuff as well. So it was pretty amazing how this kind of all ends up working out. But anyway, I feel like I'm kind of rambling today, guys. I'm sorry, but what I wanted the message to be is that there were people in the room who just were not willing. They were so committed to their victim story that they weren't ready to get the benefit that I had twice. I feel a bit greedy because I got to do it twice. I got to go through two different people yesterday, not intentionally, so I feel really grateful for that. And but there's these people in the room who I spoke to, a couple of them, because one of them really resonated with me. The other one I was sitting right next to, and who I mentioned. And the facilitators in the room, absolutely, all they're there for is to help the individuals totally break through. And they were trying so hard. The guy next to me had about at least 15 different facilitators, including Dee Martini, who worked with him about 4 times with a lot of tough love to sort of break him through. He just was constantly holding on to his victim story and seeing many more advantages over disadvantages to making the change. And he's not consciously aware of it, but those resistances prevent anybody from being able to help you. So at some point you need to let go, and no longer sort of keep them in that cycle. But anyway, I'm actually going in this morning, and he asked me, the guy next to me who's having all these troubles, he asked me to be his surrogate. So going in there this morning, he's been in there working, and so I'm going to do my best to not get trapped up in giving him what he wants in terms of his validation in his victim story, but actually what he needs, which is, okay, I get that, I understand that, but, where to from here, creating a better picture for how life could be. So anyway, I'll let you guys know how that goes, but I definitely need to race off. And I'm sorry this has been a bit of a rambling video, but I'm so tired. I'm just having too many breakthroughs. But I've got sorry guys, I lost you for a second. I was just saying hi. I've got Hassani and Judy and Gabrielle and Eric and Sam and Jeannie and Namia and hello Eric and Stephanie and Diane and Shay and Karen and Nikki and Mustafa and Sam. I love the balancing he's teaching. Yeah, I'm going to take you through a lot more clarity in terms of how the process all works, so you guys can get the value from it and not just listen to me rambling when I'm exhausted. But thanks, Sam. I'm loving that you're loving that. And Stephen's here and Jolene and Jeannie. It is absolutely incredible. Very different to Tony Robbins stuff that I know you're into, Jeannie, and a lot of us are. And I think it's a really great it's a great difference. It's good to have both, you know. It's good to have that really energetic, going for it kind of energy and uplifting, and then this one is more like, let's get down, let's get absolutely truthful, real, authentic, and I love it. So, and Gabrielle, what an incredible year of growth for you. Yeah, feel grateful that my whole life is all about growth, and hopefully giving you guys some value from that as well. Thanks, Gabrielle. And Sam, love your rumbling. It's deep, vulnerable, and authentic. Thank you, Sam. I'm grateful to hear that. And Gabrielle, he's blessed to have you. Thank you so much. So guys, really that is my message for you. I hope that it gets you thinking. I know I probably haven't explained it very well today, but I just kind of got off on a tangent. But I hope that you do think about those people in your life who you really want to help and support, and remind yourself that you can only help and support someone to the degree to which they are able and committed to, committed to helping themselves, right? So we all have those people in our lives who want to stay stuck in their victim story. We can help them to paint a picture and add up different benefits and advantages of making a change, because when you think about it, you lose your identity when you let go of a victim story, and that's like dying, you know, so that's pretty scary. But anyway, I will go off because I'm probably going to keep rambling. All right, so I'm going to take off and I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do my best to help and support this guy to break through. I hope that I'm going to be sharing an amazing new insight with you guys after this, and hope I can share that he does absolutely break through and get his freedom back in his life. So I'll keep you posted. And just a couple of quick last things here. I've got Mario's here and Lucy and Sam. Remember to have self-care and self-love. Absolutely. So true. And Fazia is here and Hassani, great reminder V. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your time. Thanks, Huss. And Jeannie, much love to you. Thank you so much. So guys, as always, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. Hope it's beautiful and amazing and extraordinary, and cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Much love.